What's going on, miners, and welcome back to the channel. Well, today is a project day here at our ASIC mining shed. We've been running it for quite a while now, but we need to tune a few things, clean a few things, move around some stuff, and of course, we're adding the last few ASICs that we picked up on our road trip. So let's head over, take a look, show you guys what we got going on today.
Today's video is sponsored by the team over at asicmarketplace.com. With crypto mining hardware prices dropping, it's critical to find an online store you can trust with your ASIC purchases. The team at asicmarketplace.com has you covered with some of the most competitive pricing on the market. No matter what brand you're looking for, ASIC Marketplace has it. To name just a few: Bitmain, Goldshell, WhatsMiner, IB-Link, iPolo, Jazzminer, and many more. There are no surprises with ASIC Marketplace. The price listed on their website includes shipping. Imagine that. Finally, ASIC Marketplace takes the buying experience to the next level by accepting cryptocurrency as payment directly on their store. Go check out ASIC Marketplace today via the link in this video's description down below, as well as save $110 at checkout with discount code THEHOBBYISTMINER.
All right, we are just getting started here. Got back from the road trip with my son not too long ago. If you guys remember, this was some of the extra stuff thrown in with our purchase. If you guys aren't familiar, we just got back from a road trip buying 12 ASIC miners from out in Denver, Colorado. But let's talk about what we got going on here today. So, few main purposes of today's kind of build day here, you could say. So here's all of our ASIC miners that we have up and running inside the shed. We got some room for growth, but we will be filling those up today. Over here, you guys can see, here is our lot that we picked up from Denver. Came with our inline fans as well as our shrouds. There's 3 KS1s, 3 KS2s, 3 KS3Ms, and a few Jazz miners in here. And we got Joey hanging out up on the workbench doing some work here. So what do we got going on? Well, the other day I started testing out this guy in the back. You see how there's a rubber boot right there versus the flex pipe? We're gonna be taking out every ASIC miner in here, removing the flex pipe and installing the rubber coupler that you see there. Makes it super easy to work on, and you're not messing around with the foil tape, which will be really, really nice. It also allows me to move around these ASICs as I see fit. It's just a lot of trouble right now with the foil tape and it peeling back and everything like that. Plus, it's a good opportunity to do a little spring cleaning here in the shed, blow out the ASICs. In addition to that, Joey's actually working on adding another shelf up here across the top, and we're actually gonna be taking all of our equipment, our storage here, and moving that up top, and that's gonna give us the bottom shelf. So on the bottom shelf, I'm thinking about putting all my KS2s across the bottom because they only use about 1200 watts running on stock. And then we do have a 130 amp 240 volt on this side and another one on that side that come down traditionally to a PDU, which is what he's removing right now. So we do have power over here on the actual workbench where those KS2s will fill the bottom. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. If you guys are curious, here's those couplers that we're gonna be using from AC Infinity, of course. They call them noise reduction clamps, but it's really just a rubber boot that's going to go between the exterior exhaust, which is what you guys were looking at the rear side there. Here's our exhaust side. Each ASIC has its own dedicated exhaust, and it goes from each of these has a tail, and so that's what our rubber boot is going to attach to. We did pick up another PDU in the box here. Well, I guess it's more of a power strip that we'll be running our fans off of, but we have lots of work ahead of us here. So first thing we got to do is empty the entire shed to get started. we got all of our equipment over here. We got stuff in the back, all out. We're about ready to power everything down here. So let's head over, get these all powered down. So we got our listings of all of our PDUs. So we got down the list here. It's gonna get quiet real quick. All right, so PDUs are off for our one. That's our one of our 200 amps. And then we have our other 200 amps here. You can actually hear the fans getting louder. You hear that, maybe? Because the fans are controlled by the Pivotal Pleb boards inside of our ASICs. And when the ASICs are offline, the fans just naturally flip over to 100. That's actually how they work, to 100%, so speed of 10. So that's why it's a lot louder in here right now. All right, let's get all of these unhooked and get them outside. All right, well, it's about midday. We're making awesome progress. We've emptied out the entire shed, removed all of our miners. Here is all of our newer miners right here. KS1, KS2, KS3s, our Jazz miners over there. We actually have our new KS5 Pro sitting over there ready to go. And our little S9 over there that we do have on Brains solo mining. So here's all the existing ASIC miners. You don't realize how many you have till you actually start stacking them and laying them out. These are all the existing ones that are good to go. So everything is next up is we're gonna be cleaning. So we set up a little cleaning station over here. We're gonna take them apart, blow them out, and then wipe them out with these. I've really enjoyed using these all-purpose kind of crocodile cloths. They work really, really well. It's just gonna be the outside, all the plastics, everything like that, inside rims. We're not gonna be getting anywhere near any electronics or anything like that, but that'll work out really, really well. I've always also used to use like a damp rag as well, which has done the trick. So we're gonna set up a station here, get a unit cleaned, and then move it over to here to make it ready for install. Heading inside. Oh my gosh, took 2 hours to remove all the ASICs from here. But the biggest thing was removing all of the tape as well as the flex tubing from each of these. And that really shows like it took that long just to do that when it should be a 30-second process, which it'll turn into with this guy here. So these are the type of the efficiencies that you always have to be looking for your farm. This is just a AC Infinity 8-inch coupler that comes with 2 hose clamps. So literally to remove an ASIC, you're just gonna unscrew this hose clamp, pop it out. I can work on it and pop it right back in. No tape, no nothing. That'll make things much easier. In addition to that, Joey is finishing up over here this awesome shelf that he built. This is where our storage is gonna go up top here. We originally had it down on this side. So this is gonna have all of our extra cables, all of our tools, everything like that sitting up top here. Workbench I needed to still be accessible for working on the miners here, which you can see we got our PDUs here with our Ethernet. And then down below here, this is where we're actually going to be putting all of our KS2s. So lots of work ahead of us here still. We're going to go ahead and clean, vacuum, wipe everything off while we have everything empty. And then we're going to get started on installing our ASICs. All right, guys, it has been about a week got things cleaned up. We were here till late that one night, but take a look. Turned out awesome. Everything is cleaned up, good to go. You can see we got miners all along the bottom with one slot, as well as miners all across the top and one slot available. And take a look, all of them have the rubber couplers there from AC Infinity. Worked out amazing. These literally, you just slide right in, screw in that last hose clamp there, and bam, you're done. I have added a screw to each of the fans as well as the shrouds. It just keeps them up against there with a really good seal. Very easy to work on. I wish I would have done that originally. So we got one slot up here and one slot down here fully available. I do have two more ASIC miners on the way. They are Kaspa miners. We'll talk about them in a future video. Now, here's our finished piece over here. It worked out really awesome. Shout outs to Joey Gambit once again. He built a shelf across the top here for storage. This is all the little odd and end stuff you end up needing when you're here. So I put all of that up top here. Worked out great. Everything's labeled. Tools, tape, bags, inline fan, pivotal pleb, boards, power cables, the works. Everything up here. Of course, some cleaning wipes and a label maker because I'm super anal. Always need paper towel rack, always cleaning things up. So what do we do here? So the workbench for now is gonna stay just like this. I may end up adding two more 30 amp 240 volts to here, kind of moving these guys down and then putting a whole nother set here, and eventually I may grow up here. Now what we did was down below, I've added all of my KS2s across the board down below. Actually working on factory resetting these right now, overclocking them. But all of our KS2s are along the bottom, all set up, good to go. Mr. Electrician put in the, we put a PDU across our, it's more of a power strip across the bottom over here to a dedicated 15 amp, 120 volt. Now I did need to go ahead and add a network switch. This is temporary because I only had run 2 Ethernet here and 2 Ethernet over here. I'm going to be increasing that to be 6 total here and 6 over here. That's going to allow me to run 6 ASICs across the bottom and then 6 more up top here if I end up needing to grow to that. Now you might be like saying, whoa, aren't you out of power? Not quite yet. Taking a look across the board, you know, we're running about 80 to 85% of each of the 30 amp 240 volts across the top and also across the bottom. And then including these over here, we're about 55,000 watts total. We can get up to about 76,800, and that'll keep us under the 80% rule for our total 400 amp service. Now, these units are exhausting right into the shed itself. The first setup that we've done that before, I was a little uncertain about it. But the nice thing is all of these ASIC or all these inline fans are pretty much stealing that hot air. So as soon as it comes out, it's just actually getting separated. And these, they don't even care. All these ASICs are running fine. It was over 100 Fahrenheit the other day and everything was running great. So other than that, I think that's really it for today for getting all of our new ASICs installed. If you're curious on the last two, I just went ahead and bought off a guy from Knoxville a KS5 Pro. So we have a second one of those coming in. We just added our new one that we got from ASIC Marketplace down here. And I'm going to be putting another KS5L right here. That's going to give us 12 Kaspa miners total. And I think we're done as of now. But guys, that's going to wrap things up. The shed came together great. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little build and update video. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts or recommendations down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Sorry to interrupt your video, but check this out. I constantly get emails from the community asking me about trustworthy hosting facilities in the United States that I recommend. Well, I got you covered. Listen up. A few months back, I visited Block Ops Mining's brand new facility in Central Arkansas. The team there was super professional, knowledgeable, and everyday miners like you and I. After visiting the facility, I sent them a few of my ASIC miners for hosting and have been super happy with their service and communication. Go contact Block Ops Mining directly down below in the video description and tell them the Hobbyist Miner sent you for great pricing on miners and hosting.